Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are we? We're at a different time today, so I don't know who's going to be joining. We could have no one. So, just in case, can we get some love in the chat? Can we get some likes? Can we get some subscriptions if you've not been here before? I promise you, this show will be worth it. You will not be unsubscribing by the end of it. You will not be clicking off because it's just that good. Don't believe me? Just wait and see. I had nothing there. Hello, Catherine. How are you, beautiful? Lovely to see you in the chat. Thank you for joining us. We're yeah, today had to be a little bit later, but that's fine, isn't it? On Monday, I was sad to be leaving you guys, so if I had to leave at 1 p.m. that time, then I'm starting at 1 p.m. today, and we're gonna be here today. We've got some fun things to look at. I did write a list of the things we'll be doing. Where is the list? Where is the list? How are we doing, by the way, today, guys? Are we having a good day? Are we having a good day? I hope so. Whatever corner of the globe that you are tuning in from, I hope that your Wednesday is going very well so far. So, my name's Steph, for anyone that's not been here before. Nice to meet you. Weird. Um, this actually kind of ties into what we're going to be talking about. One of the topics is parasocial relationships. And it needs to be addressed because the world is crazy. Life is crazy. But more importantly, our relationships with the people we have online are getting even more crazy. So I think we should have a deep dive. We did actually cover it once on the podcast with Lindsay, on the main podcast, a different podcast with Lindsay and Steph, if you've not caught it before. Thursdays at 7 p.m., first Thursday of the month. We have covered it briefly. We looked at how it can manifest, but I think it's worth going over again for anyone that missed it. We've got a load of other things as well. We're going to be talking about a different kind of relationship. That is the therapeutic relationship. And that is a very special relationship that I'm not sure how much people understand. If you've not been to therapy, you might not understand the value. Or maybe you've been to therapy and you were like, that didn't really work. They weren't the right therapist for me, or I don't think therapy was for me. There's a good chance that the therapeutic relationship did not happen. It wasn't created for whatever reason. So I wanted to discuss the factors of it, the properties of it, principles of it, and the strange things that happen within it. Things like transference, if you've not heard of transference before, that's a very interesting phenomenon. So, as well as this, I really wanted to talk about Married at First Sight. I don't know if anyone watches trash TV like I do. I love it. So, there is Love is Blind. That's just recently come to an end on Netflix. Love it. And I also love Married at First Sight. I love these ideas of just like people going for it. Psychologically, where does that leave you in the brain? And the types of just psychological topics that arise just from these situations happening. I find them really fascinating. So we're going to be chatting about that. If you haven't seen it, I'd say go and watch it. But if you're not into reality TV, then it's probably not your thing. What I would say is, if you judge reality TV as like pure trash TV, no good coming from it, then you're missing my point to it, I believe. My idea of reality TV, my benefits I get from reality TV are being able to watch human behavior up close, while also understanding that there are cameras and there's different factors that are going to be changing, conditions basically that affect the outcome. So it's not exactly a natural experiment because people know they're being observed. That's something we look at in research. But I find it interesting nonetheless. Nonetheless. Who knows? Who knows? People know. Just not me. And also, I wanted to have a go at some food guesser. I'm trying to work out, do I have a go at this first? Should we have a browse and then maybe come back to it at the end? And if it's any good, we can try the actual GeoGuessr. I'm not going to lie, my geography sucks, but that's why it could be kind of funny, I suppose. Shall we try it? Let's give it a go. So I go to GeoGuessr. Has anyone had a go at it before? No, I don't want to go to GeoGuessr. I want to go to Food Guesser. Food Guesser is... oh, wait, when I turn to the React cam, I didn't think about this. Let's have a look. When we turn to the React cam... Oh, Lindsay's not there. Oh, no, that's so sad. I have to remember to sit this side as well. Oh, I don't like her not being there. Okay, let's move her away a second. It's fine. Come back, Linz. We'll have a podcast with Linz. But that's where we can look at this. Okay. Bring this over. Food Guesser. So if you haven't played Food Guesser before, it's really simple. You're given... Your geography sucks as well, Kat. Don't worry, we can suck together. Double sucking. Oh, God. Maybe I should say stuff like that. It's what gets views, I think. Or maybe hinders me, who knows. So, Food Guesser. You'll start off with as least amount of hints as possible. You get a picture and a description of a type of food. And our goal is to guess which continent or which area in the world, which country this food originates from. Let's just play the daily one and we'll see how well we get on. Ooh, now that looks familiar. Let's move this across here so you can actually see it. Ooh. No. Minimize that, that's what I want to do. Don't need to see none of this. I don't need none of this at all. Okay. So, after 2 guesses, the name will be revealed. Now that looks like enchiladas. Okay. Plantains. Ooh, okay. Say what now? Bear with us. The dish is a savory and sweet casserole-like meal, okay, featuring layers of ripe plantains, seasoned ground meat such as beef or turkey, and grated melted cheese. The plantains are typically fried until golden, forming the base and top layers, with the meat and cheese sandwiched in between. Okay. Let's look at the... Is anyone having any guesses right now? I'm not sure. There's a few different things. So the bell pepper, the ground beef, the mozzarella cheese. Oh, see, other than the plantains, it's giving like Latino, like either Spanish, Mexican, especially the olives. Optional raisins. This is a strange... Plantains are throwing me. I mean, that could be like Brazilian. Okay. Let's try and hone in. This is where I need my geography skill to get better. Thinking Mexico or South America. Yeah, literally same. So if I go down here, I can make my first guess. I'm going to say Brazil. Okay, so it says I'm cool. And it doesn't mean that I'm cool, bro. It literally just means... Oh, sorry, I'm trying to figure it out on this other monitor. It's doing my head in. Okay, Brazil. It says I'm cool. Again, doesn't think I'm cool, just in terms of geological. And it's saying it's like northwest of Brazil. What is northwest of Brazil? This is where it just, oh my God. Where do we try? Argentina? This is where I say, like, some people are going to be watching this and they're like, that is not. Okay, cold. I'm further away now. This does not get easier. Has anyone got a map up in the chat? Are they looking right now that they can help us out? What is near Brazil? This isn't like a well-known country, then I'm also screwed. Let's have a look. I don't know. I don't know where to go. Should we cheat for this one? Is that really bad? I just want to get a map up. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to give myself that handicap. Maps, Google Maps. Yeah, okay, accept all. What do you want from me? Okay, we need to zoom out. Ooh, okay. We're cool. So it doesn't border it, but it's saying it's this way. Should we try Mexico? Ooh, cat's saying Mexico. We are warm. Now, when it's bordering, it will say borders. I kind of want to go with, so it wouldn't be the USA. Maybe it is Puerto Rico? We found it. We found it. It's called a Pasalon. Probably butchering the name of that. But we found it, guys. And we got 3,500 as a score for that round. But it would have accepted Dominican Republic and Cuba. Next round. Let's try again. Oh my God, I thought that was a Rice Krispie cake. And then I saw that the first ingredient was pork. And now I'm really hoping it's not a Rice Krispie cake. I realised after the two guesses, it revealed the name as well. I didn't go in back and look. So let's try again. Where was it from? It was from Puerto Rico. We were close. We were getting there. We were working it out. Again, I'm needing the map for a lot of these things, but we'll try not to use it. That is cheating, I realise. Okay, pork, onion, parsley, savoury. What does that mean? Cinnamon, cloves, breadcrumbs, and milk. Okay. It's got everything in that I like. I'm not going to lie, I like all of these things. I just don't know. That's not British, right? So pork, we can happily say that this is probably not a Muslim majorative country or Jewish, right? Right. Hmm. The fact it comes with milk, I swear milk is considered really like kind of luxurious in Japan. Is that silly? Nothing about this is screaming Japan other than that. Ice cold. We went there. We tried it. It's fine. Where else could it be? Pork, Sweden or Poland? Purely guessing now. Throw the guesses in, please. I need the guesses. Do you know what? I'll go with pork. Poland. We're cold. We're closer than Japan, but we're still cold. We're cold with Sweden. I'm trying to work out how on earth do you. It looks a bit like a what are they called? Not a pork pie, like an egg savory egg roll. What are they called? Oh my god, what are they called? Guys, help! Egg in like a meat pastry with breadcrumbs. Scotch egg. Oh, Alaska. Should we try Alaska? Oh, it's called because we already did two guesses. Cretons, cretons. I feel like a creton. Not getting this. Let's try Alaska. Oh, is that not? I think it's considering it part of the USA. Yeah, Alaska's USA, isn't it? Technically. Um, let's try USA. Borders the USA. Okay, Canada. You got us there, Catherine. If you hadn't have said Alaska, it wouldn't have made me think, well, that's the USA, and then it wouldn't have told me we were bordering. What? It sounds French. Yeah, it's not presented in a very French way, though, right? When I think of like French culinary, I think of very fancy things. Just Russia or Ukraine. I was thinking the same first, but then when Sweden and Poland were saying cold, it was like it can't be them then. I just left Europe completely. But that was cool. Okay, next round. Is that a pancake? Potato, salt, vegetable oil. Okay, some sort of potato pancake. Now, European countries all have their own version, right? I mean, this one particular looks like it's got sesame seeds on. That one looks extremely Asian with the spring onions. These kind of look like the ones that you have at home in the UK when you make mini ones. Wales. Do you think Wales? I suggest we put tariffs on this dish. Good, sounds like a good plan. No more tariffs. My word, no more tariffs. Maybe Japan. Maybe Japan. I'm thinking Japan. Um, but I want to try and get it in first go. So I'm trying to like. This dish is crispy potato pancake, often enjoyed as a savory snack or appetizer. It's commonly served with a soy dipping sauce. Okay, Japan. Hot. It's not Japan. It was close. Kept saying Korea. Not going to give me, is it? South Korea. Look at you, cat. Jamjajion. I hope I said that right. I hope I put some respect on that enough. That is not corned beef. Dwight coming in with the give wrong answers only. I'm excited for that. Okay. So the average score today We still got above average on the score. Guys, high five. I'm pretty impressed with that. Was that a fun game? So if that was hard, let's try some GeoGuessr. Obviously, if anyone joins and would like to have any mental health and well-being advice, please stop me in chat, please. I will happily stop. So GeoGuessr, let's just do the free one. Let's take this off that in case it shows my passwords for everything. Okay. I've got 3 free locations left to play. Okay, it was different to this before. You used to get loads of... Oh, Christ. We don't need the sound. My word. Or do we? Was the sound better? I'm just worried that it's louder than me. Okay. I can't remember what parameters I put on this. I think on the free one, you can't walk. Or maybe you can. Oh, you can. Okay, so the idea is to try and guess where we are. Okay. Do we see any writing anywhere? Okay, what does this say? You're a warehouse specialist. The idea, guys, is before this time is up, is to make a guess on the map as to where we are. Okay, there's some Asian writing. What type of Asian writing? Where are we saying? Does anyone... We're in a city. Birch tree blog. I wish this wasn't on this screen over here because it's harder for me to see. If you can see anything, guys, shout it out. That say station? Oh my god, it's so hard. The pressure. Federal Bank. Okay, I'm just gonna make a guess. No, bring this out. Um, just gonna go there. China, Taiwan. Where were we? Where did it work out that we were? Is that Mongolia? Manila? Philippines? Okay. We were in the Philippines. We were nowhere near Manila. Start the next round. Okay, we can do better at this. We're back in the same place, it looks. Oh, what does that say? Earth? It's not letting me zoom into things. Okay, that's a feature then that we're not able to have. Chiropractor. Let's get down here to a main bit of the street. Oh, bins are always a good one. They're Portaloos. Where is this looking? It's not white person. Not that that means anything. I'm just saying it's... Okay, that is America, right? What does that say? Can anyone see? Just get... I'm gonna go to New York. I feel like that's the best place for me to try. Wait, where am I? Delaware. Um, where's New York? There. Um, yeah, that's where I'm going. Chicago. We're about as far away as we were from the last one. That's really testing my geography. And the fact that I can barely see this monitor right here. How do I make this better? Okay, one last go. And we'll get on to some actual talking. I realise you've all gone quiet in the chat, so no one know where this is. And we are back again in the Philippines. Let's look at the floor. What kind of things is happening here? Um, does it look British? It doesn't really look British, does it? Could be wrong. Let's get out of this place. Oh, a vending machine. I can zoom in. Ah, nice. Okay, what kind of stuff can we get here? Okay, there's a huge clue. A huge clue. We just need to find out where. Okay, a road. Surely there is some sort of sign somewhere. Which way is any way? That's Japan, right? That's got to be Japan. I'm gonna go for uh, oh, it looked like it was on the coast, didn't it? I'm gonna go in there. Hello, chicken. We are playing GeoGuessr. Great guess. Ah, do you know what? That was the other place that I was thinking. Oh my word. Hey Lee Coops, how you doing, my love? Hi, what is going on? So this is GeoGuessr. GeoGuessr is it lands you a place on Google Maps, Street View, and you get well, on this free version, you get a limited few things that you can do. But you walk around, try and spot some clues as to where you are. If you've ever watched the real life Geo Wizard, he does it in real life. He'll get his girlfriend to drop him off somewhere random in the middle of the UK, often somewhere very obscure. It will just be um, in the middle of some field, some country lane that is a good 45 minutes towards any sign. And then he'll add different challenges where he can't use a road. You can cross over roads, but you can't walk down them. You can't use them for signs. And he's constantly climbing over farmers' properties, people's gardens. Um, really great guy, but he's fantastic at GeoGuessr online anyway. Some people's geography skills amaze me. Um, Generally, I have to go somewhere and really look at a map to understand where these things are. I realized during the last um, American election that I had very little idea of where all these states were and where the places within the states existed. And kind of the same in the UK. You know, if you mention somewhere like Ipswich, now I've said it, I'm like, where on earth is that? Sugar Pass Narborough Road. I know exactly what you mean. I know my immediate outside, and I can get to certain places and back. Do not ask me what direction that was in. I remember someone saying recently that they were going to Birmingham and had to go all the way out to Coventry, and I was like, is that not the same direction? It's blown my mind. To this day, I don't even know if saying that makes any sense. Um, but that's a really key part of life, right? Some people have strengths in areas that we struggle in. So why do we get like when I'm playing this and I'm like, oh, I'm not very good at this, I get a sense of embarrassment. I get a sense of shame. Why? Because I'm just playing a game with some people online that have come to join, that were here for mental health and well-being advice, and here I am playing GeoGuessr. Maybe that's where the shame comes from, that I'm not quite doing my job. That's saying, yes, I've been in a car with you. Are you one of those people that just, you cannot do it with directions? And you know what? I'll give drivers their due. There's something about the pressure of driving someone else changes my ability to actually navigate the world. Prob's the other way, ain't it? Is it? I thought they were all the same way. And then, so in my head, Tamworth was in between Coventry and Birmingham. People are going to be listening to this like, girl, no, no. Should be on Xbox. It's just what it is. Some people are great with maps and directions, while others find it easy and have good memory. Definitely. I always remember someone telling me, it was when I was diagnosed with bipolar, don't worry, that brain is great for map reading. You don't have to turn a map round when you read it. Right. My problem is, once I put that map down, my ADHD forgets exactly what I've just looked at. It's useless. So, whatever skills bipolar gives me in terms of navigation, ADHD robs of me. Um, Never have shame for anything. You feel free to chat about. Oh, no, 100%. That's what we're here for. I think it's really interesting that and important that we navigate these feelings and we talk about them, especially my responsibility here that I put on myself is to talk about these things openly so that there is no shadow, there is no dark side, there is no um, negativity, pure transparency. And hopefully, by sharing my own experience, it highlights something for you, or I'm not sure. Probably wrong about Cov, but recently been traveling to Brummie and last year worked in Coventry. Look, Lee, I 100% believe you when you say Coventry is the opposite direction to Birmingham from Leicester anyway. There's other people listening to this like, what do you want about? I live in Brighton. They're both the same way. um, my ADHD is the same, Steph. I'm good with directions when I'm on foot, but as soon as I'm in a car, I'm awful. 100%. It's it's that pressure, isn't it? You got to make a quick decision. I remember when I started learning to drive, I was like, everywhere looks so different. And I didn't do a test on anywhere that I hadn't been in the passenger seat a million times before during my whole life. Like, I've always lived in the same place. But on the other side of the car, and with the responsibility of not crashing, somehow places look really different. Like, I was coming up to lights, and only when I'm at the junction realizing exactly where I am. How do you manage your bipolar disorder? Is it hard doing daily tasks? When I was first diagnosed and before then, it absolutely sucked. I didn't know whether I was coming or going. I was awful to be around. Um, Whether it was my low mood that was just making me kind of suck up everyone's energy, or my high moods that were also sucking people's energy. um, I'd have these outbursts, whether they were up or down, and immediately feel shame and regret, embarrassment after. And a lot of that is residual, which is why when I'll play something like this and I'm not quite fantastic at geography, those natural parts of shame that are so embedded in my soul start to come out. But I will say that with medication and it took me a while to find that correct balance, right? Of what medications work, which medications don't, which medications work but have side effects, and then what can you do to relieve them. So I would say that a lot of the managing that I do now, for my mood, my bipolar disorder, my tablets stop this with my mood and make it kind of like this, right? And that, I can ride that wave. That's like surfing. That's fine. It's doing this that I fall off the surfboard, that I'm drowning down here, that I'm thinking, oh, I can do it. I don't need my medication. It's nuts. So now a lot of my medication has a lot of side effects, and it's about managing that. So a lot of the times I can feel nauseous. I can feel overwhelmed. I do still get bouts when I feel like depression is hitting me a bit more. But in the same way, I'm able to observe these changes. I'm able to observe these things that are happening in me and let them just be observations, not let them impact my work, my day. And then ultimately, we have those days where nothing seems to work. And I will admit, those are the days when I switch off from everyone and everything and just spend some time with myself. Often those times are accompanied by a migraine. So it kind of decides for me when those moments are. Sea of Punk, I got diagnosed with depression and anxiety 12 years ago. And I recently discovered I seem to have quite an addictive personality. I love a new hobby for a month, lose interest, and obsess of a new hobby. Ooh, I relate to that. Would you say that's down to anxiety or something else? So, new hobbies. One thing that we talk about a lot here, I don't know if you've considered it, is ADHD. And it's not the only thing that can allow you to get interests and drop them. It's not the only thing that can allow you to get constant different interests, but it's quite a common one. One thing the ADHD brain loves and thrives on, we're not very good with dopamine, we're not very good with reward systems. We are really good with stuff that is chaotic and grabs our attention, often like natural disasters, really like difficult situations. Our brains engage and we're like, we can handle this. Another thing that is kind of like a cat, it's novelty. So quite often we'll look at something and be like, oh, I want to have a go at that. Oh, I want it. So we invest in all of the things. We get the costume, the outfit, the uniform, whatever it requires. We get all the equipment. We get the stuff that helps us do the hobby. We'll set up a website to start selling whatever we've started creating through this new hobby. And very quickly, after we've told people this is our new thing, our brains just don't want to do it anymore. Whether it's because a new hobby has arisen, a new like, ooh, again, that's that novelty. Or it's that life just sort of takes over and that perfectionism starts to kick in where you think, oh, I'm not instantly very good at this, therefore I don't want to do it anymore. Sounds a lot like you. So yeah, I think it'd be worth looking into ADHD. For me, I know a lot of my anxiety and depression comes from or came from my undiagnosed ADHD. From spending so long, so many of my years since childhood made to feel stupid, like I wasn't good enough. It creates a kind of person that has very low self-esteem. And it creates a kind of person that's not very good at self-soothing. So it's kind of hard to self-soothe. It's hard to relax ourselves. But it's worth having a look into if you have a look at the main symptoms. Let's have a look. ADHD. We have this guide here available on our website. The link is in the description, but it's a different humandesign.co.uk. I'm going to go through some of. You couldn't have summed it up better. Oh, I'm glad. It makes finishing books a nightmare. Yes. I will invest time into a new book, love it, and then for some reason completely lose interest and look for something new. I'm not the reader. Lindsay, out of our podcast relationship, she loves reading. And the way she combats this is by having multiple books at the go. She's got a book holder thing that's like a tree, and it allows her to hold different books at different places at one time. Because I imagine starting to read a whole book, then losing interest, and then somehow being like, oh, I want to pick that up again, and not quite understanding or remembering where you're at. It's a ball ache. But the thing about books and the thing about hobbies is, one thing me and Lindsay like to do is share our hobbies with each other. We like to do new things. We've got the different resolution book. And this one is 12 prompts for you to try new things throughout the year. And last year I did roller skating. Me and Kat, roller skating queens. I stopped alcohol for the whole year. I did a load of things, but there's stuff like try a week with something, a week without, a month with, a month without, learn something new, pick up where you left off. And it's just little prompts throughout the year, because the year goes by and you're like, oh, I've just not tried to develop my own self very much, and I'm still in the same place. Where were we with the ADHD symptoms? So on the NHS website, there is information, but it's a little bit vague. It's a little bit non-encompassing, if that's the right way of saying it. And this book, if you struggle with books and you struggle with reading, don't worry about this one. It's got a little notebook, got the contents page, and then we have information about what the current diagnosis is, a short history, and then we have so much more information about how that impacts your life. How to change the perspective, how to understand how it treats girls differently, recognition, naturally ADHD. It looks into a load of different things. I won't just give out every page. But we look at emotions, a load of different things. And they are available to be downloaded at a much cheaper price. And then to buy them, they're only a £5. I think they're less than a £5. If you are really struggling and you think you really benefit from a copy of this, you can email me and I will send you a free copy. If you email me at a different podcast official@gmail.com, yes, to that website, to that email address, just outline what you were looking for and I'll send you it, because that ultimately is our goal. We had everything offered for free, and I think people looked at it like it was a bit of a scam. So we ended up putting prices on things, but again, they're very cheap prices. Let's look at those symptoms of ADHD, because I actually love this book, because people come up to us at stalls and they'll open it with someone and you can see them going to their friend like, that's me, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. And you can see the penny dropping for them. Do you understand different types of anxieties and disorders? I sure do. I have studied the DSM-5 religiously. That is my Bible. It depends what kind of anxieties and disorders you're talking about. There are some that I don't have as full a knowledge of compared to some. But anything that you want to bring to the table, if I can't answer it, I will happily direct you to somewhere or someone that I believe is way more capable of describing or helping. Oh, Jaws, bless you. Hearts in the chat. That's where I put it in the front. Social anxiety. Okay, that is my favorite kind of anxiety. Mostly because, and when I say favorite, I mean favorite to talk about. It's very misunderstood, and that is because of the name. Social anxiety sounds like we are just afraid of social interactions. Social anxiety, if you look at the DSM-5, is categorized by not being able to read signals of the body, misinterpreting signals of the body to mean something worse than they are. And this is what allows us to perceive situations as way more anxious than we need to. So I know for a lot of people, being hot, if you know that feeling of when you're too hot and your body starts to regulate its temperature, there can be a slight feeling on someone's shoulders. And if you are a highly sensitive person, this may be a little bit of a painful feeling for you. You can feel a tingle in your shoulders, and it's almost like the heat is raising from you. It's just releasing from the core of your body. I don't know if I'm describing this feeling very well, but there's a lot of people that will feel that and think something's happening to them, that it is the start of them about to have a panic attack. There's also a load of physiological feelings that cannot be explained throughout the body that we feel all the time, that the average person might not be privy to understanding, or what was it? So you could take a laugh the wrong way, overthinking, etc. Yeah, 100%. This is a type of rumination. This is a type of overthinking, right? Very common in anxious minds. A lot of anxiety is worrying about the future, and that worrying about the future can often depend on the things you've done in the now or the past. You think, oh, I've done these things, therefore, how will the future turn out? Take a laugh the wrong way. Specifically, what do you mean by that? As in, like, if someone is laughing about something in public and you can think, were they laughing about me? What are they laughing about me for? And you start becoming really self-conscious. Have I understood that correctly? Is that the overthinking that happens after? Because anxiety, yeah, it makes us overthink. And if you have this background of, like I said, ADHD, growing up feeling like you're not enough at school, that you're not enough to your parents because you're maybe a little bit too much for them or not enough. There's a load of things that can happen that end up making us feel like we're not that confident of an adult. And the difference between someone who suffers with anxiety and doesn't is that they don't have this higher level of thinking, these patterns that just progress in a terrible way, catastrophizing. There's a really good fable, and it's about a man that breaks down in his car in the middle of the night. It's 2 a.m. His car breaks down. He's on a country road. He's playing GeoGuessr. That bit's a joke. His car breaks down, but you can see that there is a house in the distance with a light on. There's no other option that he can take. And he thinks, I need some help. I'm just going to walk. I'm just going to go find that help. And as he starts to walk, he starts thinking to himself, is he even going to answer the door? Am I wasting my time here? Am I just walking all this way for no reason in the dark? And then he gets a little bit further and he's just like, you know what? No, why would he answer this door? It doesn't, and it's almost making him want to go back. And he's thinking, if it was me and I saw that, then I'd help a stranger. And he starts convincing himself, this guy isn't even going to answer the door. He's not going to help him. He's not even going to look out of his window. It's 2 a.m. But he gets to the door, finally, knocks on the door, and it starts to open. And instantly the guy says, I don't want your help anyway, and just walks off. And it's this idea that you can really catastrophize in your mind. If you're left to just process information in a negative way, you can almost argue with your own self. You can come up with the other person's reaction and just go off of that. There's like, do you see what I mean? There's no point even engaging with someone else if you're just going to make up what their reaction is going to be. So this level of catastrophizing is really common. We do it all the time, and it's hard to recognize when we are doing it. Okay, yeah, you can be in a group having a joke with each other, but odd times, if a group of people laugh, you instantly think that, is that a laugh at me or with me? Yeah, I feel like that must be like a really isolating feeling as well, right? Like you're all having a joke, and then something just makes you think, hold on, that laugh felt different. And you start looking at it, it can ruin the rest of your night, right? You start looking at everyone like, did you laugh at me that way? Would you talk to me that way? Dwight, the way to get over overthinking is to be present in the moment, try and block out the noise. 100%. Being present in the moment, I and thou in the here and now. Beautiful saying. And it's so true. Being able to be in the present. What do they say? One leg in the future, one leg in the past, you're pissing on today. I think that's the term. It really stops you living in the moment. But being able to live in the moment is a form of meditation, is being able to accept life for what it is in the now, because you're never going to get that moment back again. Like this moment, gone. As I'm talking about it, gone. That's how time and space works, right? It's scary. It's terrifying. If I talk about it for any longer, I'll start to get scared. A huge but silly thing I struggle with is talking on the phone to anyone. Yes, definitely. Even loved ones. I find it beyond awkward, and walking to order food, etc. Yes. In a busy place, the anxiety of it kills me. So you're naming some very, very common symptoms, basically. Some experiences that I know people in this chat are going to be relating to. Talking on the phone is one of my struggles. I don't answer private numbers, and I realize I probably lose a lot of work that way. I think I've just grown up with so much bad news coming through the post, coming through phone calls, that go get your coffee, dude. What was I saying? Brain ninjaed by a coffee. I was thinking, I want my coffee. I have got a coffee somewhere. Cold somewhere. What was I saying? Another form of ADHD, another common symptom of ADHD, by the way, is forgetting what you were talking about, like that. Talking on the phone, that's what we were talking about. One thing that phone calls for me represent often is small talk. If I know someone's calling about something to arrange something, blah, 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 then it's fine. It's not a problem. Let's do it. If I need to call a professional agency, if I need to call an institution, if I need to call someone professional or mundane, like pay a bill, talk to the bank, it makes my brain itch. Spiky brain, as it's put. It's horrible, because I would much rather be talking about things that interest me. And there comes that interest again, right? That novelty. I struggle with stuff that isn't novelty. I struggle with things that I'm not interested in. I can do it, and I can mask, I can pretend, like many of us can. But it makes that process so much more difficult. As well as that, there is that idea of being perfect again. If I can't carry this out perfectly without stuttering, forgetting what I was saying, all these different things that the ADHD brain does by accident. Yeah, like I don't even want to make that phone call because it's just going to sound, you know, how many times you like, they say like, oh, have a good day. And you're like, you too. And that makes sense. When McDonald's are like, yeah, enjoy your food. And you say, you too. And you're like, ah. It makes me so embarrassed. But why? It's just a normal part of life. Simple fix, laugh at yourself. I wish it was a simple fix, but laughing at yourself is a very good tool. As long as we're not fully using it to suppress any feelings, being able to laugh at a situation is very, very helpful. The Brits have got that down as well. We kind of understand that life is bleak, life is tragic, and we need jokes to kind of laugh at the inequality, at the injustice, at the downright ridiculousness. We don't need jokes about stuff that's already good. Do you know what I mean? Like they're already good. That makes sense. Um, but being able to laugh at a situation helps you to observe it, process it, but then it goes to a part in your brain where you've processed it healthily. You're not taking it on as a real deep, like something that's really getting to your soul. I'm not going to lie, I've spoken out to the individuals or group and asked them, and they say, no, it's just a joke, mate. Then that depends how you feel from that, right? A lot of us, we have a very good instinct, and you can kind of sense, am I just being told that? Like, I can tell by the way you've just said that you're just saving face, right? You'll say anything to my face right now to seem better, to seem like you're not an awful person laughing at me. On the other side, we could be being paranoid too, something that wasn't actually directed at us. Some once at a time when a group of friends were just laughing with us. And we got to try and work out which one they are. Hello, chicken. Welcome back. I realized I was talking to you and realized I forgot that you weren't even there. But basically, yeah, it's about working out, isn't it? Is this group talking to you genuinely? Were they just saving face? Or was there maybe a bit of paranoia kicking in, a bit of lack of self-esteem, which can then trigger our unconscious bias about how people are with us? That says my mind's so numb whenever I have to talk to doctors or dentists. Yeah, we call it, in psychology, it's called a state of arousal. Arousal to a lot of people just means sexual arousal. Arousal can be anger, it can be sexual attraction, arousal, but it can also just be that the idea of leaning into something. Ooh, I'm into this. That is being aroused by something. And a doctor's, especially if I've already got a list of things that I need to try and get out in my 10-minute appointment that I've not been able to get for the last 2 months, to sit there and then as soon as I'm in front of them, they go, yep, okay, well, do this, get some good sleep, and we'll see you in a few weeks. It's yeah, we got something in the chat. I do laugh at myself, mate. I'm the first one to take the piss out of myself. But when you're on your own later thinking, that's when I overthink, not simple. Okay, we should explain. Dwight, bless him, he has some great chats. He's got some great contributions. Absolutely loves golf. It seems to be a great husband and a great father to his kids. We've got a touch of just get over it from him. Am I right, Dwight? We've got a touch of that just get on with it, which we don't fully subscribe to here, but we respect that other people have their opinions. Don't dwell on the past. And it's one of them things where it's like, if it was that easy, no one would have depression across the world. If you were to just don't. It's like with ADHD, it's like saying, well, just do it. We know it's not a knowledge problem, it's a doing problem. Um, it's mad how you can go for years without talking about your own mental health. Yeah, it is. It was only when I had my first mental breakdown and spoke out that I realized how long I had been white knuckling it. Yeah, definitely. I think without talking, you don't get that perspective that other people normally aren't experiencing these things, but that there is also a huge community of people that do relate to the things you're going through. And this mix of just feeling welcome and included and not like a complete freak weirdo that you've been just labeling yourself as. And it is a shame that it takes for a mental breakdown to bring these things out from us. As well as that, I hate that it's mental breakdowns that lead to diagnosis. Quite often, bipolar only gets diagnosed when someone ends up in hospital or they're arrested. Um, the criminal justice system is full of ADHDers. Why? Why are we more prone to crime? Well, like I said before, if you go through school feeling like you're not good enough, you're feeling like you need to provide, then you're quite capable and at high risk of turning to things that um, aren't good for us, whether that's crime, drugs, alcohol. Um, okay, I'm sorry, I've misinterpreted it. My bad. No, not at all. You haven't misinterpreted. You were just expressing your feelings. This is not a nowhere for you to apologize. I was simply explaining that your view on this. Don't worry if you can't just get over it. If you can't just um, or if anything in the chat seems a little bit harsh, I was more looking after you, my love. This is something that's been highlighted to me lately. It's something I don't like or want to be labelled at, but sort of ticks the boxes. Can I ask, sorry, what is it, something that's been highlighted? Just something that you misinterpret? Because that not being sure with ourselves can make us really like uneasy about what direction to step, right? If I've understood that right. In this chat, the reason I was explaining that is because everyone is welcome. And I don't want anyone to read a comment and be like, "Oh, I don't think anyone understands me here," or I don't think for whatever reason. I wanted to make it clear that this chat is a place for it's neurodivergent friendly. So if I see anything that doesn't align with that, call it out. We address it, but in a respectful way because we understand people have their own perspectives. And having a go at someone never changed that perspective. I came off clean from alcohol and coke to do this. I isolated myself from socializing for a year, then now getting to know people I can't be in a room than over an hour, and it makes me okay. Post-addiction anxiety, then I'm starting to create a much better picture of you. And yeah, so I imagine the alcohol and the cocaine helped with the social anxiety before, right? This idea that social anxiety is born from addiction. It's easy to see that because you may have started drinking alcohol from quite a young age. This idea of, especially in our culture, it's seen as a good time. It's seen as something you do to celebrate. It seems to be something that we have at the best occasions. It's alcohol, right? And why? Some of the most strongest alcohol comes out at the most celebratory of times. It's just a little bit crazy when so many of us suffer with addiction. Um, so if you grow up with social anxiety and you don't like these bodily feelings, these sensations, a way of not overthinking those sensations or overthinking the room, what's happening, we can get drunk. And suddenly, we can be the person we want to be. We can be that social butterfly flying around the room. We can be our wildest dreams. And then you add cocaine on top of that, and you're invincible. Everyone's my friend. I'm bonding with everyone. But like I'm sure you've realized after leaving those things, cocaine especially creates false bonds. What do I mean by that? How many people in the chat have had a past with addiction or experimenting with drugs, especially uppers, where they think they've made the best friend in the world, and then when it came to splitting the last bag, they did you out. And you realize we're not friends. You care more about drugs. And if you're someone that enjoyed cocaine, alcohol for that social aspect, realizing that other people can get so much more nasty when they're on that substance, maybe even including ourselves. Does it do something to us that we don't like? It's not good. So it's amazing that you've managed to come off of that. Well done. I like, do you know how many people we've lost in this world to not being able to see that? It's hard. And anyone that fights addiction, I've got so much respect for. It's a hard one. It changes the brain. I think this idea that addicts comes out of thrill seeking, out of pleasure seeking only, is ridiculous. We understand that quite often we are trying to numb something from the past, whether that is the way we feel about ourselves, how we are in public, maybe for whatever reason. I don't need to go through every reason why someone feels disconnected. Get addicted to something that's good for you and others. So with addiction, we understand that we can have addictive personalities. Therefore, anything that offers your brain that extra bit of dopamine, we're at risk of being addicted of. So even if you swap your dangerous habit of cocaine and alcohol to, let's say, golf, just off the top of my head, can still be an unhealthy addiction. All addiction is unhealthy. It can make you think about what addiction does. It stops you interacting with family, with friends. It takes over your life. You start lying about it. You start hiding things about it. It breaks down the relationships around you. If you spent all the time at golf and you were like, oh no, I've just got to work, and then you're at golf. If you're like, oh, I can't make it to the kids' thing this weekend, golf. Do you see how even a positive event, a positive hobby, can still be bad for us? Agreed. Right. I took up tennis, but I'm crap at it. Do you know what? I'm terrible at tennis. I love badminton. It seems a little bit slower for me. Nailed it and answered a lot of things. Let's go. Let's bloody go. 3 years, 3 months clean. That's incredible. Go you. Like, well done you. So without sounding disrespectful, Of course, you have social anxiety. That's the way I see it. It's like, how can you go from that much of your life and addiction, and now a year of isolating yourself? How how is one supposed to navigate life correctly after that? Do you know what I mean? No one is expected to be able to do that. It is impossible. You'd have to be some Zen monk to really be able to change that around really quickly. There is a lot of learnt behavior there that we have to unlearn. And it's just a case of putting those things into practice daily and being able to see how that can get better. Teach the brain, show it through experiments. Like, what is the fear of going outside? What is the worst that can happen? That someone receives as wrong. Okay, so my task for you would be the next time you go outside or you're walking down the street, you have to say hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to 3 people. You may get blanked by all 3 of them. You may get a really good response from all 3 of them and everything in between. But the idea of this task is to realize that coming out of it, whether it was a good interaction or a bad interaction, nothing happened to us. We didn't die. We didn't have a panic attack. The ground didn't just randomly fall. And even if we did do something that was incorrect, we stumbled on our words, we accidentally spat and a bit of our spit went on the other person's lip. These are all just, again, evidence to show that even if that does happen, you're still okay. You still deserve a space in this life. And you're just a human being. The way you speak about and word things is genuinely incredible. Oh, thank you. Really well spoken. Can't tell you're a good person. Good things happen to good people. Oh, please. I hope so. We're hoping so. That's really sweet though. Thank you so much. Everyone's really proud of you, dude. The support you're getting, Lee. That's wicked. I'm so happy for you. Yeah, that's wicked. We didn't get to half the things that we were going to today, and it's already 2:15. I kind of want to play food guesser again. It's that bad. I was going to play GeoGuessr, but I ran out of my free 3 goes today. 3 free goes. So let's finish this off with some food guesser. Don't agree. Take your family with you. I said get addicted to something that is good for you and your friends and family. I think it's the term addicted. I think we can have hobbies. I think if you can take your family with you and everyone is enjoying it. I know for me, a lot of the time, my parents were very much, they were not stopping their life for having a kid. So very rarely was I taken to like parks and swing sets and things that kids get taken to these days. I was at my parents' feet no matter what they did. So it always makes me laugh when I hear about, it shouldn't make me laugh, it's a very sad story, the Madeleine McCann story, being abducted or whatever happened there, who knows. The idea of them getting a babysitter, and it just baffled me. I was like, babysitters? I didn't know you could get them abroad, nor would I really trust one anyway. Peace and love. I was always with my parents, whether it was a drag show, in a bar, some sort of bingo, any kind of nightclub. I was there, and strangers would push me around in my pushchair. I'm not saying that's a good thing, just to be clear. I'm not gloating like my amazing childhood. My point is that I was always taken to where my parents wanted to go. And as an adult, it's very hard to get me to do stuff. And I can't help but feel like this comes from never really getting a say when I was a kid. I completely agree in terms of doing stuff with you and your family. That is the best thing you can do. Like that sort of, when you say things like that, I'm kind of like, that's where I wish I had my family right now. Um, because I don't think there's anything better in life than that. And you know, if you're a golfing family, that's the cutest thing in the world. I hope you're all there with your little golf hats, golf tees. Oh, thanks for listening. Lindsay was right. You know your shit. I try, mate. I try. Uh, thanks for the info feedback. That's not a problem, my darling. If you got the email address, a different podcast official at gmail.com, message me anytime. Or you've got our socials, we're on Instagram. I'm glad I was able to help, dude. Uh, Lindsay's told me lots about you, and you're a very sweet guy yourself, by the sounds of it. So congratulations to you for being sober for so long, and let's figure out this social anxiety. If you want any more help, like I said, please get in contact. For now, let's play some food guesser. All right, we're just gonna have to play it because another day, next daily one isn't for a while. Why did it get a content warning for that? Is that really that gross? I suppose these little hole things, the bumps make it a little bit that type of phobia people have. Um, what's happening in the chat? Keep on keeping on is one of my favorite sayings. Oh, you're getting so much love. She chats shit. she she knows what she's talking about herself, Linz. Don't discredit her. She knows. All right, where are we going? To make this dish, soak sago pearls in water until they become soft. Boil milk with sugar, then add the soaked sago pearls and cook until mixtures. This looks like tapioca, right? Flour with flavor with cardamom and cook until the pearls. I mean, do we have any ideas? Creme brulee. It looks like creme brulee. It's the pearls that's getting me. So where does is that France? Ice cold. Um, so that's not going to be Belgium either, right? I don't want to go for that because that's if it's ice cold, France is pretty close to Belgium. Earth Dwight. Um, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. She knows her stuff, even saying nice things about you. She's a good judge of character. Sweden. Okay, it's called sago pudding. If it's called sago pudding, does that mean it's English as in it's called pudding, right? America? UK? Hmm. This is hard. I'm nowhere near this. Okay, I can't quite see what the oh, I can see them on here. So France, it is the east of. To the east of France. Okay. Sweden, it is also east of. This is hard. Northwest of the United States. Hmm. Dago sounds Japanese. Do you believe so? We just get Japan and USA all the time. Well, I thought we'd got it then. We hadn't. Ah, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore. Okay, so I'm guessing the pudding bit comes from colonization. uh, Singapore, Indonesia. Okay, never heard of it. Who wants to try some sago? Sago sounds Japanese. You were right. We didn't get any points for that one, though. What on earth? Pastry cell. Pastry shell. Sweetened condensed milk, butter, icing sugar, lemon juice, gelatin, water, vanilla extract, cocoa powder, icing sugar mixture, desiccated coconut. Blech. Okay, what on earth do we have here? This dish is delightful pastry featuring a crisp, short crust pastry filled with a sweet and creamy mixture. Okay, short crust. I'm getting delicatessen. I'm getting France. Dropped in Greg's by the look of it. It does, right? It looks like something that. Wait, I need to be sat over here. It looks like straight off the floor. I don't know if someone's opened it to be like, this is what it looks like inside. Is that the desiccated coconut? Looks tasty. I love the pink. I'd like to see what a full one looks like rather than, as Lee says, one that's been just dropped on the floor. Germany or France? Hmm. Turkey. Amsterdam. Let's go with France. I feel like it's always a good starting place. Just for the pastry. Ice cold. Okay, we're nowhere near France. So, looking at the guesses that we've already had, where is nowhere near France? Turkey. Also nowhere near. Where could this be? Where does short crust? Oh, it's called a neenish tart. What is neenish? Where does that sound? Um, are we saying where's coconut from? Where's coconut from? It's a tropical fruit. Hmm. Japan again. Should we just say Japan for everyone? I don't know how much short crust pastry is in Japan. I could be wrong. Could be very wrong. Hmm. I'm going to say India. Oh no, this is terrible. It's from a tree. It's if I'm not gonna lie, if I saw these growing on a tree, not happen. Our tart sour, maybe. It does have lemon juice. Um, I think you can get sweet tarts, right? Caribbean. Should we swear in the Caribbean? Bahamas. Got that wrong. Australia. Of course. Oh, I would never have got that. But the pastry is making me think like I should have been, if it's not the USA, it's not America, if it's not the UK, Australia. If you said Australia before it came up, then well done you. I don't know how many, is that a dumb thing to say? How many coconuts are in Australia? I have no idea. Oh, I looked awful when I first looked at it, but now I'm looking at a different screen. It doesn't look too bad, actually. Now, bleach, garlic, flour, water, ground meat, yogurt, dried mint. Okay, so this is like Turkish, Greek, chickpea. I want to go with Turkish. Bye, chicken. Thank you for coming. Don't worry, we'll be ending this soon. I'm just wanting to get this through. Um, India could definitely be India. Let's try India. We are warm. It's close to India. It's interesting. Okay. Doesn't border it though. And it's not hot necessarily. Iran? Oh, borders Iran. Okay. Okay, we've got some. It's going to be an Arab country, isn't it? Um, Lebanon doesn't border Iran. Okay, this is where my geographical skills are awful again. Borders Iran. We can go for either Iraq, Azerbaijan. Let's try Iraq. Oh, warm. Okay. It's off to the right of there. It's saying Afghanistan, Turkmenistan. Which one should we go for? Turkmenistan? Oh, it's well annoying. That's so annoying. Right, 2 more rounds. That looks like focaccia. Is it going to give me an easy one? So that's just bruschetta, right? Bruschetta. Mediterranean cuisine. Italy. She's cultured, ladies and gentlemen. She knows some places. Give me something that I've had at Zizi's. I know where we're at. Um, Okay. This is my favorite salad ever. Am I going to be an idiot though just by putting India and it's actually like a specific, or is this not actually an Indian recipe? Is this a British one served in uh Indian takeaways? You see what I mean in the UK? Leave on a high, don't push it. Say that. I know exactly what you mean. Don't risk it. Right, let's think about it. Let's look. What does it say? Cucumbers, tomatoes, red onion, parsley. Optional mince. And a bowl. Dish is really enjoyed as a refreshing, flavorful side dish. I'm going for India. God damn it. uh, oh, okay. What's the other side of India? uh, Nepal? Ooh, Bhutan? Wait, did it border any of these? It didn't, did it? It's Afghanistan again. Hmm. People are going to log on to this and be like, this isn't how you play. Oh, Kabul. Where do we go? What are we saying? Bangladesh is warm. I'm gonna go with Cool. It's even worse. Okay, fine. But it can't be Pakistan because that borders it. I realise how boring this is now when I watch GeoGuessr and they speed this bit up. I'm going to say Azerbaijan again. Borders, okay. Holy. Wait, did I say Azerbaijan or I said Azerbaijan. I didn't even mean to do that. Maybe this one is Iran. Does that border? Doesn't. Okay. We got it wrong the wrong way round. Iran. Using a map is proper cheating. Yeah, it is. Have I once been sat here saying, no, it's not? I'm fully aware. But do you know how over this game would be so quick if we were just putting in wrong guesses constantly? It's not as good of a score as our other one, but it's just a good opportunity to practice for next time. Why do I have a feeling you play this on your own as well? You have a good instinct. That would be why. It's a fun thing to play on your own. There's a few different ones that are like this. There's one that's like you get two films and you have to find the link between them through the actors that are in them. So something like, I don't know, how do I find that? Um, I don't know what it is called. Um, Movie to movie. Seems like a really obvious game now. Football Manager is better. Football Manager, I remember my cousin playing that when I was younger and being so confused because it's not like FIFA, is it? You'll play as the manager and games just play out in front of you. And I remember being like, what is the point of this? Like everyone always had that take, didn't they? Like, what's the point of playing football on PlayStation? Go outside and play football. And then there was kids that were playing as the manager. I love that. It's yeah, it was nuts. I used to think, what are you doing? And put to that person struggling with gambling addictions later on in life, could have called that out. Right. One go at film to film. Not that. Oh God, this looks well hard. Pig. Craven the Hunter. Are these real films? Okay. Who did any of these? I mean, Nicholas Cage. It'd be helpful if I knew what film we were going to. Does anyone know any of these films? Everyone wants to be a football manager, right? No, they so don't. Right. If I understood any of these films, if I'd ever seen them before, then we'd play this. I haven't got a clue. So screw this movie. Go and get your lives back. Do you play simulator games? Is life a simulator? Ooh. Depends who you ask. Do I No, I don't play simulator games. Um, Although I like watching simulator games. Um, there's some really funny ones that people play online. Moist Critical playing Weed Shop 3, I think it was. That was very funny. Very silly. If that's what kind of simulator game you mean. And life is a simulation. Yeah, it's interesting to think about, right? How can we be the simulator? How can we be in a simulation? Um, I'm interested in other people's views, in other people's theories. I love a conspiracy theory. Do I subscribe to it? I'm pretty agnostic about it. It could very much be true. But it could also be just a nice, fun theory. So I like engaging in the conversation about it. Um, Politics and war is great. Do you just mean in general, or you like those two? I don't trust people that don't dream. Oh, well, not everyone has. It's not that people don't dream. I think we all dream. I think the difference is not many of us remember the dream when we wake up. Not many people focus on the dream as much. Um, I think you have to be quite a deep person to really think about your dreams, but I can understand how that can make you not feel very connected to someone that doesn't dream. It's a text-based browser game. Never heard of it. Are you like having me on? Politics and war. Create your own nation in politics and war. Free strategy. Okay, jump into the exciting world of politics and war, the greatest online browser game where you get to create your very own country. Imagine naming your country's leader, designing your own flag and picking your currency. You can even choose your national animal and set your country's policies for peace or war. Want to build a peaceful paradise or a mighty military empire? It's all up to you. With endless customization options, you can shape your country exactly how you want. Manage your economy, control your army, and make all the big decisions. You can mine and trade resources with real players from around the world. And there are no fake or bot players, just real people like you. And the best part, it's 100% free to play. Experience the thrill of building and ruling your nation. See how it stacks up against others. The adventure awaits. Are you ready to lead? That does sound very fun. It sounds really silly. I would give that a go. My only problem is, Dwight, and I'm talking to you, I'd be here trying to build a peaceful nation, and you're there like, get him. Can't be arguing. We can't have infighting, right? If we're all part of one nation, one man, one nation, okay? We need to be indecisive, be in decision that it is for peace. Um, I lean towards determinations. I also think all people dream. Determinations in what way? Uh, Join your army, whatever it takes, boss. That's what I like to hear. Um, Honestly, any war that I'm fighting um, will just be against capitalism. Let's be honest, we know me. We know me by now. So, Dwight, will you play this with me on the basis that we can create a socialist, peaceful economy? Will you join me? Or will we be playing online and all of a sudden my country is attacked by another country and it's Dwight Schrute at the helm? I could just, like, I don't need to go to war with Dwight Schrute. I'm not being funny. Like, the man knows his war and politics. But yes, I shall put out the call to action. We we ride at dawn. I'm gonna head off. Keep up the great work and podcast all the stuff you do. Thanks again. You're very welcome, Lee. Have a lovely day, and don't worry, we're all getting off ourselves now anyway. So now the call to action has been put out there. It is time for war. Just kidding. It's time to say our goodbyes. Thank you very much for joining today. I was gonna try and get a live in on Friday. Disconnected to Discord. Oh. I need a Discord. We went to set one up a long time ago. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Have a lovely day. Like, subscribe, all that juicy stuff. Thank you very much. And we might be back Friday. If not, definitely next Monday. Thanks very much, guys.